everyone. Thanks for joining us for our last availability of the day. We have Mark Andrews available for you all. With that being said, we'll get it started here with Jamison Hensley.
Hey, Mark, obviously the big storyline for a lot, especially even nationally, is with Lamar being 0-2 in the playoffs. How much do you think, does that affect him at all going into this game?
What's going on, Jamison? No, I don't think so at all. He's a different type of guy. His mindset, the way he thinks. That's not something that's going to weigh him down or really, affect the way he plays this game. He's got big goals. We all do. We're all excited for this game. He's got a lot of teammates to help him out, and we're just excited for this game. Those two games in the years past, they don't matter to us right now. This is a different team with a different mindset, and we're ready to go.
Jonas Schaefer.
Hey, Mark. I know it has been a motto of yours since you were a kid to be top five in whatever you do. Do you remember exactly where that mantra took hold? And when you first started saying it, was it with complete earnestness, or was there any kind of braggadocious element to it?
I love that question, Jonah. So growing up, I was just always super competitive in everything I did. Being the youngest of four, two older brothers, older sister, all of us, heavily involved in sports. Competition has really been the main thing in my life that's really just I love. I don't love too many things, but competition's one of them. And so for me, it was one of those things where anything I did, it was I'm top five and whatever it may be, growing up, and I was always better than my siblings or whatever. And so there's a little bit of bragginess into it, but there's some honesty there with some things as well.
Mark Viviano.
Hey, Mark. Earlier this year, Lamar and some other guys on offense noted that the opposition seemed to know some of your plays. Maybe it was a lack of crowd noise, whatever it was. Here you're about to play a team for the third time in a year. Have you guys addressed that, and have you noticed that to have changed at all as this season's going on?
What's going on, Mark? I think when you play defense, obviously they watch a bunch of film, and every defense watches a bunch of film. And I think you can see the video of Cam Newton talking to, I forget when they were playing the Panthers, and he's calling out the wheel route, and he's like, "Oh, you've watched film? Well, watch this." Because defenses see things, they call out things. That's just how it goes. But the coaches have done a great job of game planning. Players have done a great job of being efficient, especially these last 5 games. Everyone's doing their job. Coaches are drawing up great plays, and you can't ask for much else. We're doing the right things at the right time, and everyone's just playing good ball. We're all committed to this, and this is what we all have worked for all off season. This is this moment right here. So I know everyone's fired up and ready to go about it.
Aaron Kazinitz.
Hey, Mark. You guys have talked a lot about finishing, and I know you have some of the T-shirts, but very literally in the red zone, I guess you've struggled to finish drives against the Titans in those past 2 games. When you review those, where were kind of the missed opportunities? What do you think you need to do better to score more touchdowns?
Like I said before earlier, Aaron, is that red zone is even more so. It's being efficient. All 11 guys doing their job, making plays. You do that, you're going to be efficient in the red zone. And I think the last couple games or 5 games or whatever, you look in our red zone, we have been that. So it's all about us. We're in about us, and especially when we get to the red zone. I haven't focused too much on that, but we've been doing a good job. So we just got to continue to do that and continue to make plays, and our guys will. So we'll be efficient there.
Kirk McEwen.
Hey, Mark. In a really changing tight end room, you're like the one constant. I'm wondering about Pat Ricard, fullback, H-back, tight end. How close have you guys gotten over the past, since Nick has been out?
Yeah, it's been so much fun. First Kirk, to see Pat and the way he's evolved and how much has been put on his plate. He's been almost strictly a fullback for so long, and now he's playing the full tight end position, and he's doing a really, really good job of it. But he's just a good dude. He's a good teammate. I'll tell you a little story about. So I was low the other day before practice. My blood sugar was, and I started cramping or doing whatever happened, and Pat dropped all of his things immediately. Ran to go. He ran out of practice. Got me some Gatorade. Got me some fruit snacks. came back and gave them to me. It was within like 10 seconds he did this, but he did it immediately without a second thought. And that's the type of person he is. He's an incredible teammate, incredible friend.
Jeff Ceribet?
Mark, I know you guys have kind of said that the past games don't mean that much right now, but you guys are a prideful team. Does it stick in your craw a little bit, kind of some of their antics, the midfield stuff with Harbaugh and kind of some of the talking they did after the playoff game? I mean, does that serve as a motivating factor at all?
We don't need that. We don't need that type of, motivation. This team is already extremely motivated and hungry and in a fire under us. If you're not, and it takes that to get you going, then you're kind of doing the wrong thing. We've got all our goals ahead of us. We're not worried about them. We're worried about us doing our job, and if we do that, hopefully it'll be enough.
Pete Gilbert?
Hey, Mark. Good to see you. I go back to one. I still have nightmares about missing the front end of a 1-1 in a playoff game. You go back a year ago, a ball off your hands, ends up getting picked, and it goes the other way. Is that something like in the middle of the night that still is stuck with you? And I know they're not going to motivate you, but does a play like that motivate you getting ready for this game?
What's going on, Pete? It's tough. Last year I was hurting bad, but. That definitely. Obviously that play replays in my head a ton, and I worked really hard this off season, to try to get back to this point, obviously, and play better and be healthy, and I am right now. So that's one check down, but we got to go out there and finish, and that's what this game's all about, is finishing. So I'm excited for it.
Sorry to bring that back
A couple
up.
more here for Mark. Childs Walker?
Yeah, hey, Mark. For everything you guys have gone through this year and all the efforts to sort of keep it week to week, is there, do you think, sort of a collective sense of this is what we've waited 12 months for, to sort of have this opportunity again?
No doubt. I think almost the second that we lost that last game last year, it was, it's thinking about, I want to get back to this moment. I want to get back to this moment so we can, see what we can do. We've got such a talented team. For us, the sky's the limit. So I just am extremely blessed to be back here and with this team, with these players, with these coaches. We're in a great position. It's all about us going to finish and doing our jobs and trusting one another, trusting all 11 guys on the field, and good things will happen. And I'm excited to show the world what we can do.
Close it out here with Sean Stepner.
Hey, Mark, just kind of a broader picture question here. Just what you guys have learned and how you think you might be better equipped heading into the playoffs this year as opposed to the last couple of years. Obviously, how this team has changed maybe and how different you guys feel as you approach the playoffs this year.
That's a tough question, Sean. I think it's so hard to kind of judge different teams and see, last year to this year. I know this team is completely, it's got its own, kind of space in my head of what this team is and what we are. And it's been a whole different year, unlike any years past, with these Zoom meetings and practice and being spaced out. But that adds another element to our team. I think, we've done a great job of staying close and being able to have that chemistry. And we've been through so many things with COVID, and we've been hit harder, than most teams have, and we've been through that. And I don't know if that made us closer, but we've been through it. We've gone through it. We've done these things, and I think that at the end of the year, you look back at what your team went through and how they stayed together and how resilient they are, and that's what I'm looking at right now. We're a resilient team that has more left to do, so I'm excited.
Mark, thank you so much for joining us today. We really appreciate it.
Thank you all. Good talking with you guys.